We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a big update on the WWE's plans for the main event of next year's WrestleMania 37 event. Because while there had been many rumors going around that Vince McMahon was strongly considering Randy Orton to win the WWE title from Drew McIntyre, and then going to defend the championship against Edge at WrestleMania 37, after Edge returns from his torn tricep injury, apparently that has all changed and Vince doesn't seem keen on that idea anymore. One of our sources has mentioned that the general consensus backstage now is that McMahon is hesitant about putting Edge in a major championship storyline for WrestleMania due to the fact that he believes Edge is far too injury prone and doesn't want to risk putting the WWE title on Edge at WrestleMania 37 in the main event, with the possibility of Edge suffering from some kind of injury, thus forcing the company to vacate the championship. A new backstage rumor has revealed that Vince is now planning for Roman Reigns to somehow be involved in the main event of next year's Showcase of the Immortals, perhaps to take on his cousin The Rock. And as for Edge, one source noted that Vince does not have any plans of putting a major title on Edge this year or next, and would rather just utilize the rated R superstar in big non-title feuds to be on the safe side in case Edge gets injured once again. Samoa Joe has certainly not been the luckiest superstar since joining the WWE's main roster, because despite having all the potential in the world to become a main event caliber talent, Joe was never really given the big push most fans believed he deserved, and this unfortunate luck was compounded by the fact that Samoa Joe has suffered many injuries since getting called up, and it's now gotten to the point where Samoa Joe needed to be sidelined and put on Monday Night Raw commentary duty. However, despite the fact that Joe has been doing fairly well on commentary over the past several months, there have always been rumors going around regarding Vince planning Samoa Joe's return to the ring. And according to a new backstage rumor, that is exactly what the WWE are reportedly doing as we speak. One of our sources has mentioned that Samoa Joe has recently quietly been cleared to compete once again, and it's now just a matter of time before Joe makes his inevitable return to the ring on Monday Night Raw. We have been told that one storyline idea backstage officials are reportedly contemplating for Samoa Joe's in-ring return would see Joe return as a heel alongside the Authors of Pain, as a new dominant faction, with Samoa Joe being one of Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship feuds for the late fall of 2020. And while it's unknown as to whether or not Joe would end up winning the gold or not, the company reportedly have big plans for Samoa Joe after his return. Make sure you guys let us know down in the comment section below how you would feel about not only Samoa Joe returning to the ring on Monday Night Raw, but returning with a new stable alongside the Authors of Pain, who have also been missing from action lately as well. And if Samoa Joe was in fact penciled in for a feud against WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, should Samoa Joe win the title, or would it make more sense for Drew to retain the title against Samoa Joe? On this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre certainly did not get the chance to celebrate his win over Randy Orton the night before at SummerSlam 2020, as McIntyre was attacked by the Viper Randy Orton on Raw, with Drew taking numerous kicks from Randy Orton, thus leading to Drew McIntyre suffering a storyline career-threatening injury, which is the main reason why McIntyre is not defending his title in a rematch against Randy Orton at the Payback pay-per-view event this weekend, and Randy is instead facing Raw newcomer Keith Lee in a match at the show. But according to one of our sources, Drew McIntyre's storyline injury won't be affecting the WWE Champion for very long, as new rumors indicate that Drew will be returning shortly after Payback 2020, likely on the following night's edition of Raw, to seek revenge on Randy Orton, with one source mentioning that Drew McIntyre will be defending his WWE title against Randy Orton at the Clash of Champions pay-per-view event on September 27th, which means that Randy Orton will likely be defeating Keith Lee this weekend, although it's very probable that the WWE will find a way for Keith Lee to look strong in defeat, likely by Orton winning with a low blow or another heel-like tactic. As most of you are likely aware, the WWE did not end up having the Hall of Fame this year prior to WrestleMania 36, with some of the main superstars in the class that were supposed to be inducted this year being Dave Bautista, JBL, the Bella Twins, and the NWO. But we now have some new information to share with you guys regarding when these soon-to-be Hall of Famers will finally get their chance to be appreciated and recognized. And according to one of our sources, Vince McMahon plans to have the class of 2020 inducted in the Hall of Fame next year in 2021, before WrestleMania 37, basically meaning that this year's class is going to be the class of 2021 instead. Shockingly enough, there's a rumor going around that Vince is interested in Dave Bautista returning for another match for a Saudi Arabia show next year, and we have been told that Bautista is open to the idea, especially taking into account the fact that the Animal would be compensated greatly for his appearance. So in all probability, Bautista will be having one more match before officially being inducted into the Hall of Fame. The biggest talking point regarding SummerSlam 2020 was definitely the return of the big dog Roman Reigns, and while the SmackDown roster now has its biggest star once again on the roster, it looks as though the WWE are preparing for another major return in the very near future, with that superstar being the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar. New backstage rumors have revealed that Lesnar is now ready to get back in the ring when Vince needs him, and we have been told that leading up to SummerSlam, Vince had been contemplating between having either Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar show up at the event, and while it was later decided to be Roman Reigns, one source has mentioned that Brock Lesnar's return to WWE is imminent, and could actually happen as early as this weekend's Payback pay-per-view event, in an effort to get the ratings for Monday Night Raw back on track. In one of our previous videos, we had mentioned that the WWE were planning for Lesnar to return and set his sights on Bobby Lashley in a non-title feud, and apparently that is still very much the case, and Lesnar is now rumored to possibly return at Payback on Sunday and interfere in Lashley's United States Championship match against Apollo Crews. We now have our main story featured in this video, and it is regarding a huge rumored spoiler for this weekend's Payback pay-per-view event that involves the new Universal Champion, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. And by all means, if these rumors prove to be true, fans are certainly in store for an exciting and long-awaited development in the Fiend's storyline in WWE. Over the past several months, rumors have gone around that Vince was finally going to be unveiling The Fiend's new Wyatt family on Friday Night SmackDown, in an effort to add some more intrigue to The Fiend's character, and while McMahon and the WWE certainly put off the storyline far longer than they probably should have, one of our sources has mentioned that The Fiend will be revealing his new Wyatt family very soon, with one rumor revealing that it could very well be at Payback 2020, to basically help The Fiend retain his Universal Championship against Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, while also keeping Roman Reigns looking strong in defeat, considering the Fiend's new Wyatt family would be costing Reigns the victory. There has been much talk between fans regarding who the members of this new Wyatt family should be, but we have been told that Alexa Bliss is rumored to be undergoing a fairly drastic transformation when it comes to her look, to effectively become the Fiend's sister Abigail, with some of the other rumored new Wyatt family members being Bray's real-life brother Bo Dallas, as well as a returning Lars Sullivan, with Braun Strowman then penciled in to realign with the Fiend and join the family as well after Payback. With the WWE's new dominant faction Retribution running rampant across both brands, we have been told that Vince loves the idea of eventually booking a Wyatt Family versus Retribution storyline angle in late 2020, with Vince believing this whole new Wyatt family will be a major ratings boost for the company. With all this being said, let us know your thoughts on the Fiend Bray Wyatt's rumored new Wyatt family potentially being unveiled at the Payback pay-per-view, and if you had to choose, who do you feel should be added to the group besides Alexa Bliss? Make sure you sound off in the comment section down below, and do give us your thoughts and opinions on the matter.